Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building on this Friday.
That's right.
We have Latham Thomas. Welcome back.
Hey, y'all.
It's that time of year again.
That's right.
The Doula Expo.
Yay.
May 20th, May 21st. Tell people what the Doula Expo is if they just finding out.
This Saturday and Sunday.
This Saturday and Sunday. So Doula Expo is Coachella for birth workers and families. It is our annual event that is about really shaping a vision and future for what birth work could be, how we can improve maternal health outcomes, but also how we can celebrate. So it's a party, it's festive, it's a space where people can come together from electeds to families to hospital and healthcare systems, and then doulas and care workers. It's for everybody to have a day of like self-care, reflection, and fun. Yeah.
Now, this is your third one. So what's different about this one, or what can people, if they've been to the recent ones or the ones before, what's different about this one?
That's a great question, MB. So the first year we did it in Bushwick, and it was like a 6,000 square foot space. We had like 400 people. Last year, Charlamagne was there. It was amazing. He did a great talk with Charles Johnson about Black men and maternal health. And then that space was about 16,000 square feet, and we had 1,000 people. This space is 60,000, 60.
Wow.
60,000 square feet.
Wow.
It's an entire floor in Hudson Yards. We have a private entrance. You come on 10th Avenue, you come up the elevator banks, you're going to be in like Mama Glow world. And yeah, we expect a couple thousand people this year. We have amazing giveaways. This year we have a nursery set. So if you got a baby and you just want to or your baby on the way and you need a brand new room, we got an entire nursery set that's going to be gifted. It's about $10,000 of value.
Nice.
So, and a really nice, amazing Brooklyn-based modern furniture company that's bringing that in. We have a bunch of different activations. So CVS Health is doing an activation. Bobby, which is a formula company that's like dedicated to restorative justice, they're doing an activation. We have Coterie, who's diapers. We all need diapers. Their diapers are like cashmere. So we have them, so everybody gets diapers when they leave. But you have amazing gift bags and things like that. We do have a wellness lounge that's dedicated to therapy and self-care for care workers. That's presented by Kate Spade. So there's all these different spaces that you can go in and check out and hang out in throughout the day. And then there's also childcare. So if you have little ones and you want them to, stay active, we have a couple of childcare providers that are there activating activities for kids. We even have a nap nook if you want to sleep or yes, because parents are tired.
That's right.
Right. So we have a Nanit, which is this amazing technology company that's dedicated to sleep. They have a nap nook that they created. So we have this area that's like all relaxed and with low lighting, and so it's gonna be amazing. So you can find your way through. There's food, an amazing food vendor called Maman, who we love. They'll be providing food for everybody. So you can just hang out there all day, and there's content on the stages. We got DJ Rashida who's spinning, and Tatyana Ali is going to MC. So we'll keep the energy going.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like it grows so much every year because clearly this information was needed, and people wanted a safe space to come talk about Black maternal health.
Exactly. And I think, what we're seeing now, especially with the reintroduction of the Black Maternal Health Omnibus Act, which, is now in its third year being presented. We need to get it passed. I think this is a great space to also lift up policy and legislative efforts that are really important right now. And for those who don't know, Senator Cory Booker and Representative Underwood were the people who really drove forward this legislation through the Black Maternal Health Caucus. And what's really important about this particular package of legislation is it's 13 different bills that it's the most comprehensive piece of legislation to get pushed through, that we need to push through, that addresses maternal health. And so we haven't seen anything like it. We do need to get it passed. We do need to do this on a national level, because then it'll impact locally how health funding is dispersed, how we think about accountability when things like maternal deaths happen, how we account for data. It will really help us to do better for our Black moms.
And this is something that Vice President Kamala Harris has really gotten behind too, right?
Absolutely. It is one of the pieces on the federal agenda, and it's something that even when she was a senator, she was doing this work in California. And so, she has also signed on to everything. The White House has made a commitment to maternal health. and they have their maternal health blueprint that they released last year that really kind of outlined like what their provisions were and what they wanted to do on a national level to improve maternal health.
How did you get Tatyana Ali to come host? Because we haven't seen that legend in a while.
A long time, right? I was going to ask the same thing, yeah.
You know, she has a new show with Peacock, the Bel Air show, which was so amazing. I don't know if everybody saw that. But, you know, Tatyana and I, we knew each other for a long time. And she also is an incredible maternal health advocate and somebody who she shared her experience, actually, that she had a really challenging first birth experience, which she was able to share and highlight, like, what happens to people, even people who are resourced, right? Because we know stories like Serena Williams and Beyonce as well. And so she was sharing how she had a similar experience where she wasn't supported in the way she needed. And that made her, you know, really stand on the front lines and also support and champion maternal health. But we're friends too. And she was like, look, I'm coming. I want to do this. We need to like make it a celebration. And last year we had Karen Parsons.
Oh, so you cool with all the banks.
So we got all the banks.
Next year, Carlton and Will? Like, what's it?
Yeah, next year we got to have Will and Jada, right? No, but amazing. I mean, she's so great. And I think the mission and what we're doing, you know, is just about like uplifting birth workers, uplifting maternal health, and also just like, you know, it's a celebration too, because birth should be joyful and transcendent and celebratory, right? And a lot of the conversations we're having obviously focus on maternal deaths. And if we're focused there, you know, it does take us away from the really beautiful things we should also be celebrating and preparing people for. So that's what this weekend is about. It's about celebration. It's about loving up on people, gifting them, making sure that they have the resources that they need. We've been able to support a lot of birth workers and also people in community who can't afford to attend with, you know, access to the event. So that's another thing that we're also proud of.
And you're a professor at Brown University as well, right?
Yes. So since I saw y'all last, I had a historic appointment at Brown University as an assistant visiting professor of the practice of gender and sexuality studies in the Pembroke Center for Teaching and Learning on Women. I know it's a lot. And so at Brown...
That sounds like Ron DeSantis would strike that down if he had the chance.
Oh, yeah, he would. Yeah, he'd be like, wait, what? Gender studies, sexuality studies, like, right? So, but what's great about this appointment at Brown is that I've been working with the next generation of people who want to be in healthcare, who want to be, you know, OBGYNs. My students, like, the range of students will be like bioethics, OBGYN, public health, OB-GYN, and pre-med. So all of those kids I'm having in a room throughout the semester. It's been incredible. I was also an advisor on some projects. We actually, one of my students, I was a faculty advisor, and she got an award, one of the highest awards at the school for a project that'll be implemented this summer. So it's just been amazing to be in academia. But the thing that's really important that I think we should think about is the Mama Glow Doula Homeschool Professional Training Program is embedded as a course at Brown, which means that this information about marginalized people in birth is centered in a university, in an Ivy League university. So academia is really important. It's important for us, I think, to get this information in for people who are going to be on the front lines, who are going to help shape our current medical model into something different, and to think about how we can invest in the future leaders, right? As we also actively divest in this thing that isn't working for us. So what does it look like to create something, in parallel, right? Like we're investing in the future leaders. We're thinking about how to create something new. And we're also asking for accountability for what's happening right now in our healthcare system.
That's interesting because I never thought about that before. Was doulas recognized? Are they recognized as like medical professionals?
That's a great question. So they're not. They're non-clinical care providers. So and that's very important because somebody might say, oh, let me have a doula to come deliver my baby. That's not supposed to happen, right? You're supposed to have a clinician, so a midwife or a physician to deliver the baby. The doula is there as a non-clinical care provider to provide emotional support, physical support, education, advocacy tools, and partner support so that when you move through this process, you have what you need to, to feel supported, but not to step in and provide any medical recommendations, definitely not prescribing or administering any treatments. So it's very different from like a nurse, right, who would actually be doing clinical work as well. But we work alongside nurses really well as physicians and midwives. So it's kind of like having one of my clients calls it having a producer for your birth. So if you think about like, a wedding or planning some big event, like all of the things you have to think through, like,
they do it for you.
We do it for you.
Right.
Right?
Nurses love doula. Like I tell y'all all the time, Latham was our doula for our last 2 children, and we was at the hospital, and the nurse was like, "I'm so glad that y'all got a doula." And then the nurse said to me, "I had a doula," and that's
amazing.
A nurse.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask for people that want to come out this weekend, how can they, is there purchasing tickets? How can they get tickets? And what should they expect? What time should they be there? And all that other stuff.
That's such a great question, Envy. I'm like so excited because I'm like, I want to experience today, but I have to work today.
That's right.
So 10 a.m. doors open. We'll have live drumming. We have this amazing all-female percussion group that'll be doing like drumming for the first, kind of welcoming people in the first hour. The content will kind of kick off starting around, I think, 11. And then they can just be there throughout the day. I would say that, one thing to think through too, if you can't physically come, you can do live streaming. So you can just go to doulaexpo.com and there's, information on that. But you want to be there because it is a vibe, it is a mood. For Breakfast Club, folks, like I did last time, I love y'all. I love your listeners. Like if people want to put the Breakfast Club at checkout, we'll have tickets for you to attend and you can come complimentary as guests of our because these are my people, Envy and Charlamagne.
That's right.
All right.
What's the website?
So doulaexpo.com. And then when you see the registration, do DOULA Expo, EXPO.com. And then when you see the registration, click there. And then when you check out, put The Breakfast Club. Don't mess it up, y'all, because I get emails and it's like, I can't figure out the code. Read The Breakfast Club, okay? And then put that in the checkout, and then it'll reflect that you have a free pass to come to the expo, and we would love to see you there.
And what's the one thing you want people to get out of the expo? What's the
I just want
takeaway?
I really want people to connect. I think it's a great place to connect with care providers, with brands, with organizations, and build community. I want people to come there and make friends with new people. If you're pregnant and you don't have a tribe yet, like meet some people who are also having babies and connect. I want people who are doulas or care workers or interested in going in this path to serve in maternal health to find your crew, find people there. We have the Mama Glow Doula training program, and so you'll learn about that while you're there, but you'll also meet people in our community. But I want people just to like celebrate. Like I want it to feel like it's festive and you take away when you leave that you just feel poured into.
Right.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Now for the last question, for people that want to get involved. Maybe they can't get this year, want next year. Maybe they want to donate something or they want to be a part of it. Is there an email for them? Maybe it's a pamper company. Maybe it's a company that does something like that.
See, I love you, Envy. You thinking about sponsorship. And I know you know what it is? Let me tell y'all something about Envy. Because Envy don't play with the car show, right? Like Envy is out here making sure, right, to like get things lined up. Business.
Word.
I love it.
You know the real reason is I feel like when we do events, a lot of times we put our heart and soul into it.
Yes.
And a lot of these brands don't recognize it.
They don't,
that
right?
it's our core, our people. And they'd rather put money into things that don't necessarily represent us to try to get us to say, oh, well, here's these are the events that are for us, by us.
That's right.
So I love it when these brands come to us directly. Like you come to all those other health expos
They
and
do.
doula expos. No, come to somebody that's actually doing, that's proven, that comes on the radio, that speaks to our people. So for all these companies out there, whether it's Gerber or whoever it may be,
I love you for this. Yes.
How can they get in touch with you?
They can email us info@mamaglow.com.
info@mamaglow.com. Well,
That's
thank you for
easy.
joining us. And I want to see everybody out there on May 20th, May 21st. That's this Friday
This
and
weekend,
Saturday.
This weekend, Doula Expo.
Don't miss it, y'all. See you
Birth to the
there.
future. I love that name. by the way.
Birth to the future. That's our theme. Yes, it's futuristic, right? Futuristic possibilities. Afrofuturism brought to life.
There you go.
That's right.
It's Latham Thomas. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.